Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, should the all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Marvel Contest of Champions video. And as you can see here by this little tab on the daily login, we managed to hit Uncollected yesterday. We did a live stream of that. That video is going to be in the description and in the outro. So if we can take a look at our fights, well, we're currently in an event, so we can't actually do that, but we actually managed to get Uncollected. Now, the real MVPs of this Uncollected run, in my opinion, were Carnage, Elsa Bloodstone, and Archangel. I'm not very good with Ghost, as a couple people pointed out. You're supposed to let the opponent miss and then hit them, and that's the way you're supposed to play them. Captain America Infinity War actually was not that good for me in Uncollected, because I found that if the opponent's bled, Archangel was MVP, and in some of the Bane nodes that transfer degeneration, Carnage was actually really good, because if he has a bleed on the opponent either through Special 3 or the heavy attack, then Carnage's special would be Unblockable. Well, if the opponent is currently blocking, you can't deal with that. So it'll just transfer the degen and you'll take a bunch of damage. I've tried using Captain America Infinity War on 5.2.6 against said Bane nodes, and actually Archangel just bleeding poison them down was a hell of a lot better for me. I'm sure that Mephisto also would have been decent because he could have got some great incinerate damage, but I didn't try to use him. I just kind of went with my top 5. There were some situations where Ghost was actually pretty useful. Like in 5.2.5, Ghost was actually really good in that fight because the first attack misses and then you hit into him and then you dash back, because I believe there was a bleed thing when you dash back in 5.2.5. I didn't use Warlock, or he could have basically been immune to that, but that basically meant that you had to like fight the person head on, and the best way to do that is not parrying, especially under 25% health. I also really liked Elsa Bloodstone. Elsa Bloodstone has that evade when you parry every like 8 seconds. If you have Beast, it actually gets dropped to 6 seconds. So I find that to be really useful. And if she's suffering from a non-damaging debuff, Elsa has a chance to purify one of any debuff. And you also get a precision buff. Elsa was actually really good for Uncollected. As far as other champions go for Uncollected, I'm sure Corvus Glaive is amazing. High damage output, but I'm sure he'd be even better at rank 5. Warlock would be amazing, especially with Cable Synergy, because you can get those infecteds off much quicker. I'm sure Havoc would be good because his mediums can't be parried. And also, he can do some massive damage the longer the fight goes on with his plasma charges. Guillotine would be useful in heal reversals as long as Guillotine's throwing bleeds around. Probably more useful Awakened. Aegon, if I had him as a 4 or 5-star Awakened, would be great because you can just ramp him up in fights and he'd become a monster. I'm sure Human Torch would be really good if they can burn. Colossus, if you can parry, will do massive damage. I think Colossus is really good. A lot of people say Black Widow is really good too, Clairvoyant. And I'm sure she is in longer fights. I need to learn how to play her. Just like apparently I need to learn how to play Ghost because I'm not playing her the way people say. Namor can be good, again, kind of like Havoc. The longer the fights go on, if you can get Imperious Rex, you can do some massive damage. I think both Wolverines are also really good. Hyperion would be really good. MODOK, only if you know how to incinerate charge. Same thing with Quake, although Quake has evades. MODOK has that auto block. She-Hulk has a really good special too. But I think it falls in the same category as Captain America Infinity War. You need dots. I think Sentinel would be okay. Void would be great. Throwing those petrifies and heal debuffs. Probably actually losing health instead of gaining it. Symbiote Supreme, if the opponent has buffs, Symbiote Supreme just eats them up and gains a massive load of power if you have Mystic Dispersion. Wolverine has some self-healing and bleeds. The healing is stronger than Wolverine X-23. I think he'd be alright. Captain America Infinity War, I think, would be okay as well because he's got some pretty decent damage over time. And he's just annoying because he's got auto block and armor effects, so I think he'd be really good. Drax has some decent bleeds. I think he would actually have some use. Ant-Man, if you're running Ghost, could probably do some damage, especially if you're stacking the special 2 effects. Medusa against robots or anybody that can't bleed, she's amazing. Thing is just a tank. He can definitely do some work. Venom the Duck has those infections as well. Gwenpool has some pretty strong bleeds. Domino, if you have the Trinity, is great, which I know 97 PR still searching for Mephisto. I'm still searching for Red Hulk. And I actually just pulled a 4-star Domino, which I look forward to leveling up in the very near future. You can also see on the list I've got a bunch of 3-stars level up. And the reason I've started leveling up 3 stars, not only the fact that I had a bunch of tier 2 basic that was rotting, I find myself using way too many 2-stars in the 2-star or the 3-star basic. So this will basically allow me to run more 3-stars. And you can even see I did get 3-star Mole Man. So very happy about that result. Scarlet Witch I think is also an amazing choice if you have her leveled up. In unblockable situations, I also like Kingpin because unstoppable, you can't get knocked down. And I think that he'd be able to do some damage. I would actually love to level up a Kingpin and try that out. And yeah, those are my recommendations for Uncollected if you want to try it yourself. But about 600 units later, 800 units that we had, I think we had about 1,500 units. So 900 units later, plus a screwed up pathway in 5.2.6. And as you can see, we are Uncollected, which is great. And these are my top champions. Archangel got the worthy 440. I think I'm going to take him up to rank 550 over any other mutants. As far as science goes, I'm not really sure who I want to take up to 550. I know Captain America Infinity War is great, but I'm thinking about taking up Void or Human Torch instead of Captain America Infinity War, because I think he's good where he is. Human Torch and Void have some other utility. I think Captain America Infinity War Awakened is great. The problem with Captain America Infinity War is he really doesn't have any debuffs until you have that Petrify. So I think that if Captain America was Awakened, he'd be better, but I think the same could be said about Void too. As far as mutants go, no doubt I'm doing Archangel to rank 5. Probably second choice would either be Wolverine because he's not available as a 5-star, or Colossus. That's who I do for mutants. As far as tech goes, Ghost or Warlock, most definitely. If I had Star-Lord Awakened, there'd be a case for that as well. But I think Sentinel will probably stay at rank 4, Nebula rank 3, Iron Patriot, Heart of the Duck probably rank 2. Star-Lord I would definitely take up. Skill classes, I really don't have a lot of good options. I actually like Kingpin's utility. Ronin's good for bleeds in the skill class, and he's just pretty fun to play. Night Thrasher can be good with the synergy as well, and I just awakened him, so there's some merit for that. As far as the Cosmics go, it's definitely got to be Corvus. It's got to be Corvus, although if Proxima's awakened, there's an argument for her as well. Angela's probably a solid rank 4. Miss Marvel probably a solid rank 3. Drax a solid rank 4. Black Bolt a solid rank 3. I got to play with Vision Arcus. He'd probably be a solid rank 4 as well. And as far as the Mystic class, as you guys can see, we did get a 4-star Ghost Rider. But I think the first one I'd probably take up to rank 5 is Symbiote Supreme. Now, I do have some good 5-star Mystic options. So I think I'm going to take Mephisto up to rank 3 first, before I take up any 4 stars to rank 5. And I'd have to do some weighing in between Symbiote Supreme and Guillotine, who I would rank up either to rank 3 as a 5-star or rank 5 as a 4-star. But Cyclops is a rank 2 because I really didn't have any options. I probably should have done Archangel, but I don't think I had it. I did have him at the time, but tier 3 class weights are not that bad, and I had some tier 4 basic laying around, so I'll probably still rank 2 all of my 5-stars. But as far as the tier 4 class catalyst, it can't be any of them except for probably Mephisto and Guillotine. Now, would I take Carnage to rank 4 over Corvus Glaive to rank 5? I guess it depends if I have tier 2 Alpha Rotting. As you can see, I have 2 out of 4, but if I 100% Act 4, then I'll have 6. At which point the answer would be yes, I would take Carnage to rank 4. And I think he's pretty good. He's got some good utility. Armor break if they can't bleed, except for guys like Colossus. And if they bleed, you can stack the bleed. Also with deep wounds, the bleed lasts longer. So, would I rank 4 Carnage over a rank 5 Corvus Glaive? My answer probably would be yes. Although Corvus Glaive, the more damage he does, the more benefit he gets from his glaive charges. So, I'd probably be told I'm an idiot. But, honestly, it depends if tier 2 Alpha is going to be rotting in my stash. I'm pretty sure the capacity will go above 4 once I go up in levels. I'm pretty sure it goes up to like 8 or 12. But yeah, I've heard of people complain about the tier 4 basic being like too easy to go into overflow, and I totally believe that, which is probably why some people rank out 4 and 5 stars, just because it's easier to do. But the main reason I wanted to go Uncollected now before later, besides the fact that our Summoner Sigil will start giving us 5-star shards, but there's this little thing called Tier 4 Basic, and even Tier 2 Alpha I think is getting a buff in the Glory Store. So right now you're only getting 18,000 fragments, but as of the 22nd, you're going to be getting a full Tier 4 Basic. So it's going to make it significantly easier to get Tier 4 Basic. And then the argument comes, do we get Tier 2 Alpha, Tier 5 Basic, and buy Tier 4 Basic as we need? Or do we buy the random class catalyst, which I think also get significantly reduced in cost from 150 to I think 50 or 80, which is going to make it significantly easier to purchase Tier 2 class catalysts every day. And as you guys can see, with my Tier 4 tech, we're about 15,000 away. So if I bought 4 of these, or 3, I would have plenty to actually get Ghost or Warlock to rank 5. But I wanted to give you guys this little thing, letting you know that we hit Uncollected. If you guys want to see a highlight video, I could go through my VOD tonight instead of streaming. And I can show you guys my Uncollected run, or you can just watch the whole thing. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!